The malfunction comes without warning. A ripple of static, a white-hot blur across your vision, then the crushing silence of dislocation. The machine is gone. Its hum, its promise, its logic, all ripped away in an instant. You find yourself standing ankle-deep in dust that tastes like iron through the filter of your helmet, beneath a sky that burns with a sun sharper than you've ever seen. This is not a place made for you. The horizon undulates with low hills, brittle scrub, and pale grasses shivering in a furnace wind. Ahead, the ground dips toward a thin line of green, a broken smear of acacia and thorn. Even from here, even through the suit, you smell water. Faint, metallic, like blood diluted in sand. But it isn't the water that stops you. It's the road leading to it. A corridor beaten into the earth, churned by hooves and paws, marked by bones scattered like forgotten markers. Long-necked giraffes, their skulls shattered like fallen pottery. Fragments of antelope, ribs gnawed to splinters. Even tusks, stripped of flesh, gleam from the dust like warning signs. Every species has left its trace here. Every trace ends the same way. The waterhole is life, but the road to it is death. A shadow cuts across the sky. You glance upward, just in time to see a vulture circling with lazy precision. Others join, dots gathering in spirals, as if the very air anticipates the inevitable. Your suit keeps you safe from heat, from thirst, from the bite of insects that would otherwise bloom on your skin. But it cannot shield you from the law that governs this corridor. You must go first or you must go last. Never in the middle. Somewhere, deep in your bones, you feel it. The rhythm of herds, the choreography of predators, the silent census of survival. Step at the wrong time, and you will not be noticed as a human anomaly. You will simply be absorbed into the tally of carcasses that paved this trail long before you arrived. Your throat tightens, not from thirst yet, but from the knowledge that thirst will come. You cannot stay away from the waterhole forever, and when you go, you will be forced to choose, first or last, never in between. The land does not welcome you. Heat presses against your visor like an open furnace. The filtered air inside your suit carries the sharp tang of dust, of burned grass, of resin dripping from thorn bushes that seem more weapon than plant. Each step crunches through a crust of parched soil, fissured like skin left too long in fire. Beneath that crust lies a silence heavy with threat. It is a silence that moves. In the distance, herds drift like shadows across the plain. Antelope with spiraled horns tilt their heads nervously, their flanks trembling, ears twitching at sounds too distant for you to catch. A pair of proboscideans trudge slowly, their massive silhouettes wavering in the haze, tusks sweeping low as though carving invisible paths. The ground shivers faintly under their weight, and for a moment you think of safety in their size, until you notice the vultures tracking them, circling lower, patient. The waterhole glitters far ahead, a smear of reflected sky between the trees. Around it lies motion, not stillness. Silhouettes bent to drink, others rising abruptly, nervous legs jerking backward, tails twitching. Predators are invisible here until the very last moment, and the panic of herds spreads like fire through dry grass. You scan the perimeter. Shapes blur in and out of the shade, sleek, low to the ground, deliberate. Cats. Their outlines ripple as though the air itself conspires to conceal them. You count 2, then 3, then lose them altogether as they merge with the trembling horizon. Your helmet ticks faintly, internal temperature rising. Sweat beads against your neck, trapped, unable to escape. You know dehydration will come long before hunger. Already, your tongue presses heavy against the roof of your mouth, the recycled air too thin, too metallic. And then sound. The road to the waterhole is never empty. You hear it before you see it. The collective pulse of hooves striking the earth. A herd approaches. The sound builds in waves, a vibration felt through your knees. Dust rises, carried by the wind into your visor, veiling the horizon in a storm of ochre and gray. They come, antelope by the dozens, shoulders brushing, legs a blur of motion. Their bodies shine with sweat, their eyes wide, glazed with the urgency of thirst. They funnel into the corridor, heads jerking forward, never breaking stride. To hesitate here is to be crushed, overtaken, lost beneath a torrent of muscle and bone. The ground shakes. Your suit vibrates as if pinned beneath a living avalanche. You flatten yourself against a thorn bush, its spines scratching your outer plating, whispering along the material as though testing for weakness. The herd does not notice you. They surge past, a tide that cannot be deflected. When the dust finally clears, you are left with silence again, but a silence that feels thinner, sharper. It is not absence. It is waiting. You glance once more at the path. Bones gleam at irregular intervals, half buried, some shattered by trampling, others scarred with tooth marks. It is a record written not in language but in the stark economy of survival. The waterhole glimmers, the vultures circle, the cats wait, and the corridor is unavoidable. If you want to live, you must walk it. You crouch at the edge of the corridor, dust filtering across your visor in pale veils. The waterhole is there, waiting, but the bones tell you the price of recklessness. Your suit offers no strategy. It does not calculate timing. That burden is yours alone. And so the rules begin to write themselves into you, etched not in ink, but in the slow dread of observation. Rule 1. Come first. If you are first, you are unseen. The predators wait for patterns, for the surge of bodies that guarantee a kill. One moving form is nothing. It is a shadow across their sight lines, a distraction not worth the energy of pursuit. Enter before the herds, and you may pass like smoke. Break this rule, and you step into a stage already lit, your presence magnified against the tide. Then the eyes in the grass will notice you, not as anomaly, but as weakness. The jaws will test you because you arrive too late to be invisible. Rule 2, or come last. When the herds finish, when dust settles into a thin film upon the bones, the corridor empties. For a narrow window, it is only silence. Predators drag their chosen kills into shade. Sated. Their bellies are heavy, their movements sluggish. Arrive then, and you walk a road cleared by blood. Break this rule, and you will find yourself between states. Not invisible, not ignored, but framed against hunger that is not yet satisfied. You will be singled out not because you belong, but because you remain. Rule 3. Never be in the middle. The middle is slaughter. Herds trample without awareness, driven by thirst, blind to what lies beneath their hooves. In the middle, your body is an obstacle to be crushed, your shape erased by the pressure of numbers. And if the herd does not finish you, the predators will. They strike then, weaving through confusion, sinking claws into flanks, bringing chaos into form. To be in the middle is to dissolve into noise, your breath choked, your suit pierced by forces it cannot resist. Rule 4. Do not hesitate. The corridor does not forgive pause. The instant you step forward, you must commit. To stop halfway is to become fixed, a stationary point in a river of motion. Herds will not swerve. Cats will not miss. The air itself will hold you down, pinning you to your indecision. Move too slowly, and your figure becomes target, silhouette framed against the dust. Rule 5. Avoid the shade. Shade is not safety here. Every patch of acacia shadow is a mouth waiting to close. The cats hold themselves in stillness so perfect they appear carved from bark and grass. To move too close is to trigger that stillness into explosion. Keep to the open, however exposed it feels. In sunlight, you are a lesser prize. In shadow, you are bait. Rule 6. Never look back. Your survival depends on the forward vector. To turn your head is to notice teeth too late, to lose the rhythm of your stride, to stumble in dust that swallows hesitation. Bones behind you are not warnings, they are proof. Do not join them by honoring their presence. The rules align themselves in your skull like iron filings to a hidden magnet. Each is both instruction and verdict. Each promises survival only if obeyed absolutely. Yet the flaw in them is already visible. Thirst does not wait. You cannot linger forever on the edge, watching the corridor fill with dust and fear. Sooner than you want, you must choose, first or last. And you know that even if you choose correctly, something in the pattern may break. You wait, The horizon ripples again, the shimmer of bodies building at its edge. The herds are restless, pressing forward in waves, their shapes unstable in the haze. Dust blooms against the wind, carried toward you, coating your visor in a thin grit that scratches with every breath. You tell yourself, wait until the last. It is safer. You recite the rules inside your skull, as if their repetition could anchor you. First or last, never in between. Do not hesitate. Do not step into shade. Never look back. But the land does not listen. The first herd surges past. Antelope, dozens of them, flanks rippling with sweat, eyes glazed with thirst. Their hooves drum like thunder across the corridor, and you press yourself low, the thorn bush scraping against your suit until its spines leave faint streaks along the plating. You let them pass. You feel the current of their bodies rush by, an avalanche of bone and sinew, and for a moment you believe the rule will hold. Then another herd follows, and another, each wave heavier than the last. Not a pause, not a break in rhythm, just layers of urgency pounding through the corridor, each one erasing the silence that should have come after. The vultures will lower. Something shifts. You glimpse it. A lioness, her body stretched in stillness beneath an acacia's broken shadow. Her eyes track the line of motion, her muscles coiled. She waits, not for prey within the herd, but for stragglers. For the last. Your throat tightens. The rule cracks. To wait until the end is to step into her jaws. You cannot go last, so you tell yourself the opposite. Go first, but you are too late for first. The herds already flow, endless, dust merging into sky. If you enter now, you will not be first. You will not be last. You will be what you fear most, caught in the middle. You hesitate, and in hesitation you break the rules. Your body is rigid inside the suit. Sweat pools at your temples, slides down your jawline, gathers in the hollow of your collar. Every second presses like a hand against your spine, forcing you forward, but your legs refuse to move. Then a shift in sound. Not the thunder of hooves. A lower note, a growl, rising beneath the herd's rhythm. The cats have entered. Through the dust you catch glimpses. Shadows sliding in from the sides, weaving between legs, jaws flashing. Panic spreads like a crack in glass. The herd stumbles, surges, divides. Chaos tears the corridor open. You are caught. One antelope bolts sideways, its horn clashing against your shoulder. Your suit jolts, alarms flickering red across the visor. You stagger, knees grinding into dust. Around you, the herd collapses into frenzy, bodies colliding, hooves slicing air inches from your helmet. The corridor becomes a storm of legs and dust and screams. You try to stand, but the weight of motion presses you down. A body slams into your back, another strikes your thigh, and you feel the suit absorb impacts that could have shattered bone. Dust blinds you. Breath becomes a stutter. You broke the rules. You are in the middle, and now nothing in the corridor belongs to you. The dust does not clear, thickens, folds into itself, becomes a wall that swallows light. Your visor blooms with static scratches where grit grinds against it. Breathing is mechanical, shallow, rasping, as though the suit resists the act of keeping you alive. You try to move forward, but the corridor is no longer a path. It is a whirlpool of bodies. Antelope crash sideways, their flanks pressed so close you feel the vibrations run through your ribs. A trunk sweeps low, and you glimpse the heaving bulk of a proboscidean stumbling into the herd, its tusks slicing an arc that sends more animals scattering. There is no direction, no rhythm, only collision. And then the cats. They are no longer shadows at the edge. They are fire within the dust. A lioness springs into sight, her claws raking down a flank so close you hear the tearing, even through the filters. Another shape darts low, a predator smaller, faster, weaving between legs to strike. Panic detonates around you. The herd convulses. Your rules fracture one by one. Do not hesitate. You stumble, hesitate again, waiting for space that never comes. Avoid the shade. Shade does not exist here, only dust. Yet every blind corner feels like shadow, every blur a waiting mouth. Never look back. You do. Instinct drags your head around, just in time to see teeth closing on an antelope's throat. His eyes roll white, his body folds, and you realize that turning back gives no knowledge, only paralysis. You are lost between laws, broken by indecision. Your suit shudders, an impact to the side. Something slams you down. Not claws, hooves. The herd has no awareness of you, no reason to spare your shape. You fall onto your side, visor scraping the earth, alarms flaring crimson inside your display. Pressure clamps your chest. You cannot rise. Through the static of dust, you see it, the waterhole, only meters ahead. A mirror of sky trembles between thorn trees, blue fractured into ripples by the bodies crowding its edge. Salvation lies in that glimmer. Yet between you and it is a tide that will not break, a system that does not care whether you reach it. You reach out a gloved hand. The gesture is absurd. Dust and motion swallow it instantly. Your arm feels weightless, detached, as though it belongs to a body already discarded. And then comes stillness, not of the world, but of you. The herd moves on, the corridor pulsing with retreat. Cats drag their kill into shade. Dust begins to thin, curling upward in tired spirals. Light returns, sharp, pitiless. You lie in the corridor, chest heaving, limbs unresponsive. The rules echo faintly, stripped of their authority. First or last, never in between. The words repeat until they lose meaning, until they are nothing but air rattling inside your helmet. You are not first. You are not last. You are only here in the middle, and the middle is where all things end.